Hi everyone, and this is Sam from Booredatwork.com, and today we're taking a look at the Google Nexus 7. This is actually a tablet developed by Asus, and it is the first Nexus branded tablet device. This is 7 inches, and I'm just going to shoot off a few of the specs here for you. You have a 7-inch 1280 by 800 HD display. This is actually a backlit IPS display. We have a scratch resistant screen, 1.2 megapixel front facing camera. We have about a weight of 340 grams. Memory of it comes in two varieties, the 8 gigabytes and the 16 gigabytes, which are basically 199 and 249 respectively. Both versions will have 1 gig of RAM in there. The battery is about 4,325 milliamps, and that should be able to last you anywhere between 7 to 8 hours of use. Now, I would say moderate use. Google actually says it should last you anywhere from 10 hours of HD video playback. I think that's stretching it a little bit. Now, the CPU on here is a quad-core Tegra 3 processor, which is, I think, clocked at about 1.3 gigahertz. And the size of this is actually, I guess, let's go with the thickness first. The thickness is actually 10.45 millimeters. And I guess the height of it is actually about 198.5 millimeters, and the width is going to be 120 millimeters. Now, it does have wireless Wi-Fi and wireless Wi-Fi only when it comes to connecting to the web. This does not have a 3G cellular connection on here, or cellular antenna in here. Now, this also has Bluetooth and NFC in there, so you're basically still going to be able to do your Android Beam. You're going to be able to do probably use your Google Wallets on there, but you will not be able to connect it to a cellular network. In order to use the internet on this device, you would have to have either a Wi-Fi enabled dongle or a Wi-Fi enabled hotspot in order to use this device away from any dedicated Wi-Fi sources. Now, it has a micro USB on the bottom here, which basically connects it to the computer and also connects it to your charger. It has a 3.5 millimeter head jack. It has the volume rocker and the sleep/power button up over here on the right side of the screen. The left side of the screen is blank, and the top of the screen itself is blank. Now, here is the 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, which is the only camera it has. It has no back, no rear cameras whatsoever. Now, you can tell that this device was basically designed pretty much for the, I wouldn't say the high-end consumer, but I would say the mid-level consumer. This is actually a $199 device, which is pretty affordable. So if you haven't had a tablet before, this is an easy tablet to actually get into the whole, if you want to find out what a tablet is about, this is really cheap or really low, really low cost of entry into the whole tablet environment. Now let's see what that 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor actually does. Now, what Google has done with this new operating system, Jellybean, is actually Google has taken, or should I say Google has kind of applied this Butter, or should I say Project Butter architecture to this. What Project Butter really is just a way of, or should I say, is just Google's attempt to streamline the code so it's run smoother. So you would notice, basically, just using the device, that transitioning from one screen to the next actually is pretty snappy. Now we'll go to the app library, and that pops up right away. Switching, now go to widgets. And it's really amazing what Google has done with streamlining its code and just cleaning up its code and getting this to be a very fast, snappy operating system. Now, something else that's really big with this device is actually Google Now, which is basically Google's entrance into the voice command arena. This has actually been tested online to basically say it's, I guess a lot of people think it is, or are of the opinion that it's better than Siri. I don't have an iPhone 4S here, so I really can't test that claim that the Google voice command is better than Siri. However, what I can show you is how the Google voice command currently works. So it's called Google Now, and I guess I'll see if it works for me today. It was giving me a little bit of a headache earlier on. So, hi Google. Hi Google. What's the weather?
It's 71 degrees and clear in New York. Here's the forecast for the next few days.
Now that was actually pretty responsive, and the voice, as you would hear if you've ever seen a review of this online, is that it sounds way less robot-like than any other voice command out there. And this is, personally, I think this is actually a big improvement from what I was using prior to this, which is S Voice from Samsung on the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now let's try something else. What is the score for the Red Sox game?
School trip, a field trip or excursion is a journey by a group of people to a place away from their normal environment.
Now that didn't work too well. Let's try this again. Can you give me the scores for the Red Sox game? No, that didn't work too well. Maybe it's the way I'm pronouncing this. Let's see. I'll start over. Can I have the scores for the Red Sox game? No. The scores for the Red Sox game. Scores for the Red Sox game.
The Red Sox beat the Tigers 7-3.
Okay, now this, I guess, as you noticed, it took a while to actually get the results I wanted. Maybe it's just a case where it needs to get used to my voice, or I need to get used to how, to request search results from Google Voice, or should I say Google Search. So I'll keep working on that. I guess I'll get back to you if anything changes on that, if it gets better, or if Google brings an update to that. Now, other things that are really innovative about this is basically just the video playback. Now, I haven't preloaded this at all, so I'm going to go in here and go to the Google apps. I guess I haven't preloaded anything, so we'll go to the Google apps, right? Right away, you see that basically one of the movies included in this is actually Transformers. I'm going to stream that. I'm not going to. This is not downloaded on the device whatsoever. So we'll stream it. So I guess we're going to be held hostage to my connection speeds. So let's see. It's loading. Now, just want to give you an idea of how clear the HD display is. And this is off of a Wi-Fi connection. The audio is amazing from just the one speaker from behind. I'll show you that right away. This is the speaker. It's one single speaker. As you can hear, the audio is pretty amazing, and the video quality is, I wouldn't say breathtaking. Nothing is quite as breathtaking as being in the theaters, but it's really impressive for a handheld device. Now, let's see if I can do this here. Isn't that just amazing? With a 1.3 quad core, 1.3 gigahertz quad core processor, the Tegra 3 is really, it really provides this tablet with a little bit of a kick. You really feel as though, there's really no lag between your request and when it delivers, right there. It is very streamlined, very quick, and very responsive with users. Now, one thing you will also notice about the new Jellybean operating system is that when you're within apps, this software keys, this touch software keys actually migrate to wherever, to the orientation of your screen. So if I twisted it this way, let's see if I can do it upside down, there. And if I got out of here, and I'll show you on a different app. Okay, let's go back home. Now let's look at a game. I would say let's look at, actually not the game. Let's look at a magazine, or let's see, a comic book. So we'll go into my comics. I've actually been reading Incorruptible. And it's actually a pretty good comic. Now it's loading up. So on the portrait mode, you see the keys at the bottom. On the landscape mode, still at the bottom. It actually transitions itself based on the orientation. And a little menu button over here pops up the menu. Jellybean has really done a good job of actually making making the operating system a little bit more intuitive than its predecessors. Now, one complaint I do have about Jellybean is this is a tablet, not a phone. So I kind of expect that I would expect that the orientation of the home screen would change as well. I understand that we do have widgets on this screen, which makes it a little more difficult to actually, to actually have the transition, or should I say, have the right kind of orientation when you switch from landscape to portrait. But Jellybean doesn't currently support that. Maybe Google's going to come out with an update for that later on, but that's not the case as of right now. Now, let's go to YouTube, actually, and see the new interface for YouTube, which is pretty similar to exactly what you would see on the YouTube website. It's actually, I've been looking at twit.com, but let's go on YouTube and search for, let's see, one of our videos. So this is our review of Verizon's Samsung Galaxy S3 unboxing. So I'm going to pop that open. It looks very similar to the website. Switch that over, and it should go into full screen mode, which is really amazing. Now let's.
Booredatwork.com, and welcome to our unboxing.
As you can see, the Tegra 3 processor really does a lot. Basically, when you couple it with that 1 gigabyte of RAM, it really does a lot to make your experience very streamlined and pleasurable. This device, for a $199 device, for a $199 tablets, this device really delivers on power. It gives you enough power to basically operate some pretty cool games, and gives you the feel that you're actually using a quality device. While this has been going on, I have had a live home screen in the back. Now let's see the multitasking on Jellybean. So I switched out of a bunch of things. Now I'm just going to go back and continue watching the video.
16 gigabytes.
All right, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to switch back to watching Transformers. This is actually streaming right now, so it's taking a little while to connect. This is probably due to my my Wi-Fi connection speed. Now I'm gonna go. Let's put this back. Oh, I guess it's gonna stay on landscape mode. Now I'm gonna go back to gaming. All right. So we're going to resume. So this is the kind of performance you get from a $199 or $249 device with a Tegra 3 processor and 1 gigabyte of RAM with an IPS HD display on here. Go back up. And now I'm going to close out of a few of these things. So this is done, 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 done. Gaming, and we're back up. So this has been a review of the Nexus 7 from Google.